put in the historical context. Essentially, the Places of Worship Act of 1991 says that the status quo of all places of worship as existed on 15th of August 1947 needs to be maintained. So there is a layer of protection that no temple will be destroyed to build a mosque, or no mosque will be destroyed to build a temple. Essentially, irrespective of the origins, the place of worship cannot be disturbed. So that is what the act says. Let me get in Anand here as well. Anand, we are counting down to the big verdict to come in as far as the Gyanvapi Mosque is concerned. Just put the entire controversy that has played out not now but for a while now over the Gyanvapi Mosque, over Shringar Gauri and its connection with Kashi Vishwanath.
Well, this entire property and this area is called Gyanvapi. Gyanvapi, just like Deshratan Nigamji said, it's a well of knowledge. So clearly it's got a Sanskrit connotation and a Hindu origin to it. The other aspect, you said Places of Worship Act 1991, the religious character of a place as on 15th August 1947. But then till about 1991, every day people used to go and pray at the Shringar Gauri temple. So after 1991, they are allowed only once in a year. So hasn't the nature of the been changed of with respect to Shringar Gauri itself? If it is 15th August 1947 as the status quo, then all devotees of Shringar Gauri should be allowed 365 days whenever they want to go and pray inside that area. Why change the character? So that's another argument. But the issue at hand is about videography. The court order, what does it say? It just allows for a survey and it allows for a videography. It does not violate any of the tenets of the Places of Worship Act 1991 because there are 8 clauses. It is not changing the status quo. It is not altering the structure or the format. It is just shooting the property as it is. The contention was what? That there is ambiguity in the judgment or the order as to what should be allowed, what can be allowed to shoot and what cannot be allowed to shoot, and who can go in and who cannot go in. Here I have the order copy of the 26th of April 2022. The order copy clearly says, and I am reading the portion, operative portion of the order. वरन उनके द्वारा मुख्य 2 बिंदु उठाए गए हैं कि कितने कितने व्यक्तियों के प्रवेश की अनुमति दी जाए और कमीशन कार्रवाई के दौरान मौके का स्थल क्या होगा। कमीशन के स्थल के बाबत वादीगण द्वारा प्रस्तुत प्रार्थना पत्र 11 में स्पष्ट वर्णन किया गया है कि किन किन चीजों का कमीशन होगा. Okay, so this is mentioned, 11 is mentioned here. एंड दे ऑल्सो से जहां तक प्रतिवादी गण का पक्ष है कि बैरिकेडिंग के अंदर मस्जिद में जो जाने वाले का उपयोग सिर्फ मुसलमान व सुरक्षाकर्मी कर सकते हैं. द कोर्ट सेज दैट्स नॉट ट्रू. एनीबडी एंड एवरीबडी irrespective of their faith can enter a masjid, and this is something which the Prativadigan in their arguments have said. So there is no restriction on who can get in, but the number of people who can go in, the order clearly says all the people who have made the appeal or the petition and one person along with them can go in. They mentioned. Now what does 11G say? 11G is in 2021 another order that was passed. This was made by the plaintiff. And this is 11G of 2021, regular civil suit 693. This is a civil miscellaneous application number. And in this, the entire property is mentioned, Shreya. What they have mentioned is, they have said that Article 25 of the Constitution of India for issuance of mandatory permanent injunction to the defendants to the effect that no interference be made in the performance of darshan, puja of goddess Ma Shringar Gauri, Lord Ganesh, Lord Hanuman, Nandiji, visible, non-visible deities. Visible, non-visible deities, mandaps and shrines existing within the old temple complex situated at settlement, plot number 9130 in the area of ward and police station Dashashwamedh district, Varanasi. So the court says, and they have referred to, and this is their prayer. Their prayer is, therefore, on the basis of the facts and reasons disclosed in the plaint and also in the accompanying affidavit, it is most respectfully prayed that the Honorable Court may be pleased to appoint an advocate commissioner to inspect the make the inspection of the property in question. So the entire property has been defined as property in question in the light of the averments made in the plaint and the application for grant of interim relief which is supported in the affidavit. And the court order says the entire property must be surveyed, Shreya. This is the operative fact. So there is no ambiguity that the entire property has to be surveyed. So it's not about कि गेट के बाहर, दीवार के बाहर, छत के ऊपर, छत के नीचे नहीं, तहखाने में नहीं, nothing like that. They say whatever is this property which is the old temple complex will be surveyed and videographed in the presence of an advocate commissioner. Now they have raised objection on the advocate commissioner also, saying that he was trying to remove some places which they believe has been covered up with chuna. So he was trying to scrape and see that. So they said, no, we don't trust this guy. The advocate commissioner says, we have not done anything malified, but if the court wants, we are okay if the court itself comes for the survey. So they are saying, let the judge personally come. Let the judge come on behalf of the court and allow the whole survey. So today at noon, we are expecting the fresh date of the survey and whether or not it will be the same Advocate Commissioner Ajay Mishra or it will be the judge who will come down and the court itself will come and personally monitor the survey. So the issue is the survey and the property in question, the entire property must be surveyed. That's the court's order.
So you're saying the court's order is absolutely unambiguous. However, the Muslim side is saying there are lacunas, we need more clarity. Pranju, how do we see this play out? The court will obviously need to come in and say, this is what we meant. We meant, you could, I mean, depending on what they want to say, but do you see a situation arising, given how sensitive the matter is, that the court itself will decide that, okay, this survey and this videography will happen under our, our watch. We'll be watching, so that no one can allege that, there was some hanky-panky that played out.
Yes, Shreya, see, what observations we have or an individual has or anyone outside the court has about the court's order, that doesn't matter the proceedings that are going inside the court. The case, basically is that one of the party concerned is having doubt, apprehensions over the Advocate Commissioner.
Correct.
The other side fully endorses and has faith in Advocate Commissioner. Arguments have been made extensively from both the sides. Now the ball is in the courts with the Honorable Judge himself. He has to decide what he feels fit as far as the judgment is concerned, and therefore we are saying that the court has to decide that whether the same Advocate Commissioner continues,
Correct.
or he is replaced, or the judge in his own wisdom decides to himself lead the entire videography process. Which date is to be done? All these things are still within the court's own observations, and we'll have to wait what the court has to say. The other issue which everyone is talking about is the Places of Religious Worship Act. So just to add a few quick point, see, I've been speaking to many advocates, and they point out the fact that that particular act talks about maintaining the religious character of the concerned place.
Correct.
And therefore their argument is that the basic character of this place is a Hindu temple, not a mosque. It doesn't matter that for past many years or many centuries there has been a mosque existing to it. So they have their own interpretation about what the religious phrase religious character in that act of 1991 means. But shifting back to this particular case, two issues at hand. One is that what is the actual interpretation of the court's order dated 26 April as far as the places where the survey can take place. And the fact that even administration didn't insist or allow the authorities or the Advocate Commissioner to go inside, that clearly, builds a base for the court to be more specific that whether the survey is allowed inside the mosque, under the dome, in those, underground cellars, which are somewhere behind, below the mosque area. So I think all this clarity will emerge once the court gives out.